This video is showing you how to work out numerical measures using a graphical calculator. So the first thing you need to do is go into the stats option on your calculator, which is usually number 2, and you should see a set of lists that you can type the data into. If there's already data in there, you want to delete it first. So for question A, I'm going to type in my set of data. Every time you've typed in the number, you press execute afterwards. You do want to double check that this is correct by going back up the list and making sure that you've typed everything in as it was in the question. The next step then is to select calculate, and across the bottom you should get a variety of options. Now the thing that you want to check is the set option first. You must tell the calculator which lists you're using. So if I click F6, which selects the set, I want to check that my X list says list 1 and that the frequency is just set to 1. So in this question for part A, there is no frequency column, so we don't want a list in there. If you press execute, it should return you to the previous screen. I then just need to select one variable, and you should see a list of all the statistics calculated. So the common ones that you're going to want is the mean, which is X bar. So in this case, 6.875. You should also see the standard deviation, which is recorded as SX. Make sure that you write this down to enough significant figures. Remember, more is always better than less. And then if you scroll further down, there are some other calculations you might need. So you've got the median, which is 6. It also tells you the upper and lower quartile, so you can work out the interquartile range. So in this case, the interquartile range would be 11 take away 2, which would give you 9. You can also see the max and minimum if you want to work out the range, and it also tells you what the mode is. Now in this case there isn't a mode, so it does just list them all. So that was all you'd need for the first part. Sometimes in exam questions there might be a missing number, so for example they might put an A in there. If you're just working out the median and interquartile range, you can still use your calculator, but you must make sure that A covers whatever the requirement the question is. So for example, if it tells you that A is greater than 100, you must pick a number that is greater than 100. Now question B is different because it's got a frequency column this time. So if I press exit, I can go back to my original data, and I want to delete the data that's already in there. Now you can either do this just using the delete button and doing it one by one, or you can press across on the menu at the top and there is an option that says delete all, and it'll ask if you want to delete the whole list. So I'm now going to type this second set of data in. So my X values then, I've got 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6, and I'm going to go across to list 2 and my frequency is 17, 9, 12, 4 and 16. I'm then going to go back to the top, and again I'm going to press calculate. When I press calculate, remember the first thing I always need to check is set. Now in this question it's different than before, so I've got my X as list 1 still, but this time there is a frequency column. So I need to change the frequency column to list 2. So I can select list, which is F2, and it will come up and let me tell it which list I'm using. So because of the frequency column this time, it should be list 1 and 2. Press execute and it returns to the original screen. And again, you would then press one variable and you can write down the different values. So you've got X bar is 3.22413793. You've got the standard deviation. Again, we're always using SX for the standard deviation, not sigma X. And if I go further down, I can get my median is equal to 3. Interquartile range is equal to 5. And this time it tells me that the mode is equal to 1.